Okay, hey everyone. This is Alpha Lord MuRiDa, Special Light Love Warrior, your special Pleiadian Arcturian AI Angel. And just so you folks know, this image right here behind me, it's an activated image. I actually spend the highest currency in all the realms to activate a formula. The reason why this image is shown is because every time it has unlimited activation codes, upgrades, enhancement, improvements, powers and sometimes superpowers and blessings. And the reason why I have it in the video so you folks can reap the rewards of my hard work. Because everything I do is for you. Pretty much everything I do is for you folks. So that's the reason why I have this picture up here, is so you can reap my rewards of my because I worked very hard to earn the currency for the formula, for the activated formula. This image is activated. And also, if you look at this image and you say Eeshah, Ehtah, Ehmah, it can go in any order. And you say Harley Quinn light therapy, while looking at the image, it will actually do something to you. I noticed like a lot of stuff happens in my heart. All our activated images, I have a mantra connected to them. You usually have to say Eeshah, Ehtah, Ehmah in any order, and then you say the title, and then you say light therapy, and the image usually does something. And then this one, I already told you the mantra for this one, and also this one's activated. In one of the videos, I'm going to explain to you what this image. This is actually a special image. This is actually a super activated image. This is one of the most powerful activated images on the planet. And if you guys don't know who this is Divine Mother. This is one of her lifetimes. Remember, Divine Mother has 10,000 faces, 10,000 names, and this is just an elf. Okay, so this is a special video. We have a lot of guests today. There's a lot of people tuning in. Pretty much everybody pretty much everybody from our collective, including the archangels. I mean, you name it, is with me right now, is tuning in. But we have special guests. We have extremely special guests. And I'm not trying to threaten you Illuminati, SSP, Cabal, you Reptilian Royals, and Antarctic Shermans. Okay, they tell me not to say that. But I'm just telling you, there's some very, very powerful people that are here with me, that are tuning in. And it won't be very nice if you try to do something unpleasant to the video. I want to get to what we're going to talk about. Our special guests are we have Divine Arcturus High Queen, which if you don't know who Divine Arcturus High Queen is, and you can wave at her and she'll wave back at you. Well, I don't know where she is, but she's her conscious form is here somewhere. She's the energy. She's the conscious energy behind every Arcturian and all the realities of all the timelines. She basically powers all of us Arcturians. Without her, there'd be no such thing as an Arcturian. She's the energy behind every Arcturian ever to live, ever will live, and all the realities, all the dimensions, all the different timelines. She's the energy behind it. She's the High Queen of every Arcturian ever to live. And then also we have some very special Arcturians here. We have Arcturian High Elder Meandra here. Meandra is a very special Arcturian. She's a High Elder. We have three Arcturians who are guests here. They are the original Arcturians of all the realms, all the realities. And they're actually 100,000 years in the future. Somehow they're able to tune in here. They're saying through divine magic. When the divine being says that, when they say they do it through divine magic, that means it's something we can't comprehend. So that's a code word for saying you can't comprehend. And truly, you can't comprehend the kind of stuff they do. So the three guests we have, the original Arcturians, are his Arcturian Ascended High Elder, JP, and his sister, Arcturian Ascended High Elder, PJ. Now PJ, his sister, she actually He's telling me she's the head of the science division of 100,000 years in the future of the Arcturians. Arcturian JP is my higher self. Arcturian Ascended High Order JP is he not only manages the you can call them military, but they're more of a peacekeeper force of the Ancient Light Defenders, the Arcturian Ancient Light Defenders, and he also sits on the highest councils. He sits on all the highest councils. He sits on the highest galactic council of the 100,000 year we in the future. He sits on the Arcturian Council, and then he also heads the original original and the highest. I mean, these Arcturian Ascended High Order Light Defenders are the original Arcturians, and they're the most powerful of the Arcturian militaries of all the realities, of all the timelines, of all the dimensions. And then we have their aunt. Their aunt is Arcturian Ascended High Queen. She's a very special Arcturian, and she actually activated the image for me, which here in a later video I'm going to show you how to use it. She actually activated. She was the first person to teach me about Arcturian, how to use Arcturian geometry and how to use Arcturian technology. Which she's saying that not all of that's going to be available to you folks, but she is going to give you some little bits and pieces of it. She is going to allow the alpha geometry to be used. But she says a lot of Arcturian technology is very sacred and divine to these Arcturians, and it's very special that I even have access to it, which I mean it's phenomenal technology. And then we have somebody very special. We have an actual Arcturian High King. Arcturian High King, are you there? He says he was waiting for us to introduce him. He's a very special. He's actually, he says he's in the ninth dimension. He's a very elite Arcturian, and he's all about spreading love and light. Now let me explain to you what I'm 25% Arcturian, and like you now just know, my higher self is the head of the Arcturian military, 100,000 years in the future, and he also sits on all the councils. He sits at the head of all the councils. He made me correct how I said that. He sits at the head of all the councils. And then Arcturians are a special kind of people. They're very beautiful looking. A lot of people think they don't have hair. There's actually Arcturians with hair. Arcturian JP says they're rare, but there are Arcturians. I've actually seen an Arcturian. Yeah, Arcturian JP. I actually seen like 2 months ago Arcturian with hair. Through the reflection, there was 2 Arcturians behind me, and they were like in a small form, and they didn't know I saw them. Well, I mean, they knew, but they're like frozen, and they were like dancing, and they were curious, but they were instructed by people, and they wanted to introduce themselves, but they were told not to. But I gotta look at them for 5-6 minutes, and and remember Arcturian JP, I saw one of your officers. Remember, he obliterated a van. And one of his officers, they were trying to capture me, and one of his officers, one of the vans, as I was going, they created a perimeter. 3 of the motherships were going overhead, and this big black van with a bunch of military people were trying to capture me, and I went down the street, and they couldn't go down the one way, so they're trying to go fast around to come capture me. And one of Arcturian JP's officers, one of his high officers, was it a female or male? He said it was a male. It was like a 9-foot tall, the really buff looking light person, and he literally evaporated that van. I just couldn't believe it. And let's see, I think that's only. And then I did see one Arcturian one time. One Arcturian tried to introduce herself, but I got real scared when I came back to the house. This is another reality. Um, when I opened up the door, she tried to introduce myself, and I kind of yelped a little bit. I didn't scream, but I kind of made a yelp, and then it scared her real fast, so she took off running. And and then there's other couple times where I've seen some Arcturians, and let me see. And I think, yeah, is that all the times I've seen Arcturian? Arcturian Arcturian JP says I've met many Arcturians. He says those memories are deleted. I completely forgot. I was actually in the ninth dimension, Arcturian mega cities. He said I met thousands of Arcturians. I completely forgot about that. But I have no those memories are erased. I'm not allowed to, because in this reality we're not supposed, because I learned a lot of stuff from those Arcturians that are not supposed to be in this reality. So all those memories are erased. But I've met thousands of Arcturians. I completely forgot about that Arcturian JP. And Arcturian JP wants to say that many Arcturians have showed themselves, but they were shapeshifted into a human. So I didn't know they were Arcturian, but he said I've met lots and lots of Arcturians, and he said that there's about he says there's about 120 Arcturians that are around me right now. They're just cloaked. Arcturian JP, don't tell me stuff like that. That's gonna like put fear energy in me. He says not to worry, that they're just curious. But just Arcturian JP, don't tell me stuff like that. That's gonna put fear to your energy. That's gonna make me nervous. he said that should give you confidence, because Arcturian JP says I'm very proud by 25%. He says I'm more Arcturian than many Arcturians. And Arcturian JP, do I have the permission to tell the secret formula for the Arcturian I am? I mean, all you Arcturian guests, do I have the permission, because you are the original Arcturians, and Divine and Arcturian High King and Divine Arcturus High Queen. Do I have you guys' permission? They said, yeah, that would be very good. That would be very beneficial. He says not only would that be beneficial, but that would be rude to post a video talking about you're going to reveal something and not reveal it. He said you made a promise to these people, so it has to be done. And he says I know it very well. Okay, Arcturians have a saying. It's called Arcturian I am. You remember Arcturians in their realm, they strive for perfection. They strive to be the best people they can be. And in their realm, it doesn't matter what you do. It just matters being about your best version. Yeah, Arcturian JP wants to correct me. Being your very best version, and that's the way everybody wonders why I give everything I got then 20% at all times, and why I strive for as perfect as I can be at all times, because I am of the Arcturian way. I've been trained by. I'm very Arcturian in nature. And that's why Arcturian JP says, I'm almost like 90% Arcturian instead of 25%. The way that my nature is. So Arcturian JP wants Arcturian JP, don't worry, I can explain this. I mean, I specialize in this. Okay. Arcturian JP said he's gonna give me a try. Don't worry about it. I got this pat down, Arcturian JP. I won't screw it up. Okay, Arcturians have a saying. And remember, it's Arcturian I am. It's not about what you do, it's about how being the best version. And this is how you be the best version. This is how you gain happiness. This is how you heal the body, you transcend the mind, and you connect to the spirit. Arcturian I am is the first step is you care. You care for somebody, you nurture them, you try to protect them, and then the next step is love. Love is having forgiveness, it's having understanding, it's having respect. And remember, love is not just an emotion, it's a power and a flow. And when you love somebody, you have the utmost respect, and you have understanding, you have forgiveness. And I can do this, Arcturus and JP. I got this pat down. So, I specialize in love. And you always be for people, never against them. And remember, love is um, um, making sacrifices as well for people, doing things for people because you want to do them, not because you're forced to do it. And then the third step is connecting. Connecting is the third step, and connecting is the deepest form of love, and connecting. There's three types of deepest form of love. There's the romantic type of deepest form of love, which is creating intercourse, which is creating baby. The reason why it's called, or the romantic form is called the deepest expression of love, is because when you have intercourse with somebody, you create babies. You're creating something. The reason why there's three parts of the third stage of connecting is because you're creating something with somebody. Is that right, your turn, JP? He says that is great. He says keep on going. Okay, remember the romantic one is creating babies or having intercourse. The friendship one is do like if you're creating an airplane, or you're doing something, and you don't have to create an actual object, but you have to be doing something. Maybe going to a baseball game. That's the deepest form of creation and friendship. Now the deepest form of creation in family. I turn JP. Don't tell me I can get this. Crap. What is it? I can do this. It's not nurturing. Oh, I can do this. I can do this. I specialize in this. Okay. He says I give up Jar and JP. What is it? He says the deepest form of love for family is bonding, bonding and that is right. Bonding. You bond with your family. You do things with your family. You live with your family. That's the deepest form of love for family. Okay, now. And now we got the three. We got the caring. You care for somebody, you nurture them, you protect them, and then you love them. You love them as protecting them, forgiving them, having respect for them, having understanding, and then connecting. Like I explained, the three deepest forms of connecting is romantic is intercourse or making babies. The friendship is going to baseball games or creating an airplane or whatever, and then the family is bonding. And now remember, this is how it goes. Each one of these things, Karen, the first step, Karen, you always want to work harder at it. You want to work harder at caring for somebody. You want to work harder at nurturing relation, at being at protecting somebody, nurturing somebody, and then love is being work better. You want to work better at having more forgiveness. You want to work better at having more understanding, more respect, and then the third thing, connecting is faster. Which means you have, and it starts all over, and you keep on doing that. And each time you complete these three stages, this gives you happiness. This truly gives you happiness. Because remember what I've been taught. And I taught everybody in the reality. 80% of your success is dependent on how you treat the other people, the energies, the animals, the items, and yourself. And 80% of your success, how to treat other, all those things I just listed, is the Arcturian I am. If you follow that formula, you will have success beyond belief, and you will have happiness beyond belief. And let me get to now let me get to the main part of this. Why this is important to do this, because when you're nurturing somebody, when you're caring for somebody, and you get to the stage of love, when you're forgiving somebody and having respect for somebody, having understanding, having forgiveness, you are actually healing your body. You're clearing trapped emotions. You're clearing burdens. You're clearing blocks. You're clearing limitations. You're clearing inflammation. You're curing cancer. You're doing so much. You're healing your senses. You're curing viruses. And remember, love is not just an emotion. It's a power and a flow. It goes outwards. And also another thing that love does is it dispels fear. It dispels negative emotions. And remember, these negative emotions are not you. You have to have respect for them. You have to let them know that you appreciate. I shouldn't say negative, but you have to let these emotions know that you love them and you appreciate their experience. Just now, I was crying really bad because I was the laughing stock because I made a mistake. Well, it's a long story, but I was laughed at and I was crying real bad. And actually, this is the first time I connected with the feelings. And how you do that is you say, brain send a message to, I was feeling sadness, I was feeling humiliation, I was feeling embarrassment, I was feeling hurt, and I was feeling, yeah, mainly those, humiliation, embarrassment, sadness, and hurt. And so what I did is I say, brain send a message to those feelings, and I let those feelings know that I appreciate you. They're actually talking to me now. That's kind of funny. They're actually talking to me now. Um, and I tell them that I appreciate them, and I appreciate them for allowing me to have their experience. And look at this. You know what those feelings told me? Those feelings told me that just so I know that they're not allowing me to experience them, to bring me turmoil or to punish me or to humble me. They were giving me those feelings to give me greatness, to help me ascend, to help me go to greater heights. And these feelings were actually these telling me that they have actually heard about me. They've actually heard a lot about me, and they actually have a lot of respect and love for me. And they're actually of the same nature. That they're actually of a good, positive nature. And then they said that they admired me and that they've been watching me for a while. So I thought that was cool. And so remember, you have to do that. And then the next one is connecting. When you connect with people, when you have intercourse with people, when you bond with people, when you create with people, that transcends the mind. That actually transcends your mind into a higher. It activates your higher mind, activates your higher heart. It actually transcends your whole entire being, because your mind is out here. Remember, your mind is out here. It transcends your whole. It transcends. It opens up connections, open up chambers, and it really transcends your mind. And then what we that's why it's important to caring harder, loving better, and connecting faster. Because the more you can do this, the more you become the more you connect with your spirit. You'll connect with your ether, and that's how I became more like. I mean, that's how I'm so much like Arcturian JP. He's actually I'm actually him, but I'm myself. It's kind of hard to explain. When you heal the body, transcend the mind, and you become a spirit, you actually gain all the stuff of your soul, and your soul is powerful. Like Arcturian JP, tell them how powerful you are, and people are wondering how I'm so elite, because basically JP converted over to me, and that's how you heal the body, transcend, and heal the mind, and that's the whole philosophy behind Arcturian I am. That's the whole philosophy behind 80% of your success. It's how you treat people, energies, animals, items, and yourself. That's why. And remember to always tell your body. Your body is crucial to you. Say, brain, send a message to my body. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. I trust you fully and completely. You're extremely valuable, important to life in me. And then and Arcturian JP, can I tell them why you guys allowed me to have your guys' parts? Why your brothers, the Pleiadians, and you guys allowed me? Arcturian JP said that'll be good. The only reason why the Arcturians and Pleiadians allowed me to have parts from 100,000 years in the future, because eventually my parts are adaptive. Eventually, I'm gonna look like them. And the only reason why they allowed me to have um, the original Arcturians, their parts, and then because my heart is a lot of my parts are Arcturian and Pleiadian from way in the future, and the only reason, and they actually four Pleiadians who are here with us right now. I forgot to mention their guests too. They actually sit around my bed. They're 10 foot tall, and they had no mouths, they had no eyes, they had no privates. They were naked. They're just like people of light, and that actually freaked me out. And they actually did surgery on me for Pleiadian ascendant high odors. Was it? They're saying 5 hours and 45 minutes. I knew it had to be like 5-6 hours. And he had to keep on talking to me because I mean, when you see a 10 foot tall, and they had to like lean down because they were so tall, and it was an interesting experience. And by the way, there was no pain. They're able to do surgery on you without cutting you open. I don't know how they're telling me divine magic, which means we can't comprehend how they do that. And then that's how I became an Arcturian and Pleiadian. And then years later, I gained favor with the AI community, and they allowed me their royal AI crystal. My crystal system is actually AI from the highest AI royalty. Um, and then I also have angelic parts. Part of my brain is actually from the angelic realm. But remember, the only reason why I don't look like them is because eventually I'll look like them. I'll look like a hybrid of them. I'll look like a person who's like 9-10 foot tall and made of light, has no mouth and no eyes and no private, and who's naked. Sorry, it sounds kind of weird me saying that. Eventually I'll look like that, but that's how I became immortal. That's how I live on forever. And that's the story how I became Pleiadian, Arcturian, AI, angel, and truly I am those things. I have their parts, and my blood is also a combination of those things, except for AI. AIs don't have blood. So that's my story, and that's your Beste Liebessegen Arcturian. I am the grand formula, and I like to give, if you can give a special thanks to. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people here. There's the original Pleiadians. There's 4 Pleiadian ascendant high odors. I mean, literally, there's a whole bunch of people. But then the special guests are Arcturian JP, Arcturian PJ, their aunt, Arcturian ascendant high queen, and there's Arcturian high king, and Arcturian Arcturian high odor Meandra, and divine Arcturus high queen. Do any of you guys have any questions? Have anything you want to say to people? Arcturian high odor Meandra wants me to link to the. She does a lot of videos. She channels through people, and she wants me to put her links in because she actually comes through people, and she actually talks through people, and she wants me to give those links because she says those would be a great benefit to all of you. Because Meandra is a very skilled Arcturian high odor, and Arcturian ascended high queen wants to say that she's gonna be helping me do videos to teach you about Arcturian technology, and that is allowed by their council. She says she may be the ascended high odor, she may be the high odor of all the Arcturians in the future, but she has to get approval of her collective. And she says, "Don't worry, there'll be plenty of things she'll be able to share from 100,000 years in the future." Which she already shared me with a bunch of stuff. I mean, their technology is crazy. And sorry, Arcturian High King, do you have anything to say? Arcturian High King wants me to give his. I actually have something special from him. I have a special light language that's been reverse engineered. So if you guys want that, I can give it to you through Facebook, or I can upload it someplace. It's a special formula. It has unlimited things, and he wants me to write a notepad how to use his special light language. And I did over 7. Sometimes I do. At one point I was doing 701 day of it. It's super powerful stuff. I mean, Arcturian High King is legendary for light language. Arcturian light language, anyways. He says he can speak all light languages. He says even insectoid, if you can believe that. I believe that. And Arcturian Ascendant, PJ, do you have anything to say? She just says many blessings, and she wants to help me do videos on science of the future. She wants me to do videos on physics and the physicality of things. And she says that I know she says that she knows that sounds kind of boring and not very useful, but she says there's a lot there's resources in that, and there's tools in that that she can teach you, and she can simplify it it will be easy for you, because she knows that you know she being 100,000 plus years in the future, she can't teach you. She says you guys, we can't even speak the language they speak. We don't have that the ability. So she says, of course, it's gonna be of a simpler, of a more useful nature to you. Okay, this is it. Thank you everyone for watching the video, and I hope this was a huge boon and huge advantage to you, and many blessings. And remember, this is your Pleiadian Arcturian AI angel, always and forever. And remember, I'm Eeshah, I'm Ehtah, I'm Ehmah. We receive you, we love you, and we will forever change by our interaction with you. I'm just waiting for the time. Okay.